Welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David.
I'm Gary.
And I'm not David. I'm the actual David.
And I'm not Gary, but my Funko Pop hasn't made too many appearances on the channel yet.
You know, you can get Funko Pops made, custom Funko Pops.
That is my Funko Pop.
Oh, that's right. Your kids got you one.
Yeah, back around before Christmas, I think it was probably like October or something like that. I didn't know what a Funko Pop was, and then I found out what a Funko Pop was, and I found out you could customize one. So I thought we should make one for every member of the family. So the kids and I all made our Funko Pops, and I guess I must have saved mine somewhere because then the kids recreated it and gave it to me for Christmas.
What did you? Oh, you have a guitar, I think, in your hand on that.
Yeah.
One, right?
So my Funko Pop, he's got his glasses, he's got an apron, he's got a guitar and a beer, and a white cat.
I see nothing wrong with this.
It worked for me.
Okay, so we are fresh off of our hour and 10-minute live with Dr. Lena Rodriguez.
Yes, hello, possums.
that was an absolute blast. It was an absolute treat to be able to share the space with her for that period of time. I hope we could do more of those going forward. She is an absolute delight.
Indeed.
Okay, so one of the things that came up, because I brought it up, is that because I'm so well read, was that, and I'm not, I think it was on Blue Skies where I saw it and it just confirmed it. The Trump administration, after the debacle with Zelensky last Friday, is out trying to look to see if they can lift the sanctions on Russia. They're putting together a paper to justify or explore lifting sanctions on Russia. So to take folks on a quick timeline, the quid pro quo timeline, Donald Trump, as we recall, is a very transactional person. He wants loyalty and he cuts deals. And loyalty is one direction, it goes to him. There's no loyalty that goes out. And he does something and then somebody has to do something back for him, or his preferred way is you do something for him, and if you succeed, then he will give you your reward. So like the January 6th rioters, they did not prevent him from being removed from office. Therefore, screw them, they can go to jail. But when he got reelected, he was back in office, so he can now forgive them because he needs stormtroopers. Back in the 2024 election, the U.S. determined that Russia and Iran interfered in the elections, and they put sanctions or some type of financial penalties on these two countries. This happened in December, and it had to be approved by like the Secretary of Commerce or something along those lines. And you can look that up. It happened in December under the Biden administration. So it is basically proof positive that Russia interfered in the 2024 election. In fact, the article I was looking at, I think it was NBC News, said, and Russia didn't even bother trying to hide it. They were just being blatant about it. After Trump got elected, a Russian member in Putin's inner circle, who used to be the Secretary of Security in Russia, announced that Donald Trump accepted favors, and now he's expected to honor his word and his commitments that he made in order to accept those favors. What those favors were never said. And this person, the secretary, said it on TASS, which is the official Russian news agency, otherwise known as the propaganda wing of Putin. So it implies there was an agreement between Putin and Trump that they would do Russia would do something, and Trump promised something if Russia did whatever it was they were going to do. Fast forward to, so now you tie that in with the fact that we know Russia interfered with the election. It looks like Russia's end of the deal was to interfere with the election to get Trump elected. Trump just recently was saying that, Russia started the war. Ukraine forced Russia to invade them. It sounds like any abuser to his victim.
You said Russia started the war. I think what you're saying is
I'm sorry. He's saying that Russia didn't start the war. Ukraine started the war. Ukraine forced Russia to invade them. Again, sounds like an abuser.
You forced me to do this, Yeah,
exactly.
That's a very classic abuser line.
Yes, and then we had the debacle last Friday where there's a big argument with Zelensky. He humiliates Zelensky, and now there's, from multiple sources, according to news agencies, the Trump administration is now looking at lifting the sanctions in Russia. Gosh, I wonder what the deal was. We'll get you elected if you get these sanctions off of us. So, one, it tells you that sanctions are working.
Yep.
And two, it quid pro quo. Sorry, long intro, but I want to read on the energy around this purported agreement of lifting Russian sanctions, the energy around it, and will the Trump administration be successful? It's not clear to me that, because there's UN sanctions, so Trump probably could I don't know if Trump can put sanctions. I think that has to go through Congress. I'm pretty sure it has to be voted on through Congress.
That's what I was trying to look up while you were talking to see if Congress authorized it, Congress needs to be the one to unauthorize it, if you will. If it was an executive order or whatever that authorized it, because Congress gives the executive office some leeway.
Yeah.
If it didn't go through Congress, then yes, the executive branch can end it. But if it went through Congress, then Congress is the one that needs to end it.
I think it had to go through Congress. I'm pretty sure it said. Did you successfully look it up?
I did not successfully look it up.
Okay, then I'm going to look it up real quick here. Hang on. Hitting play here. Okay, everyone. Thanks to the power of Google and the supercomputers that hold lots of information and pictures of cats, the president's extraordinary sanctions power. In the United States, most sanctions are imposed under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA, part of Congress's post-Watergate push to claw back authority from a wayward president. President orders invoking IEEPAs generally delegate implementing authority to a small office within the Department of Treasury, the Office of Foreign Assets Control. The Biden administration used the IEEPA against Russia and has done that in tranches or groups. So Biden was able to initiate sanctions against Russia using this IEEPA. But Gary's got the second half of that, which is the congressional part of it.
Yeah, so in 2022, Congress passed the Suspending Normal Trade Relations with Russia and Belarus Act. And they also passed the Ending Importation of Russian Oil Act. Basically, both of these these basically became the sanctions. So what the upshot of that is Trump cannot end the sanctions unilaterally.
Yeah.
It's got to go through Congress to end the sanctions. That doesn't mean Trump won't try.
Yeah.
Because he has that mentality of, I'm just going to do it anyways. And what are you going to do to stop me?
Yes, that's pretty much him to a T.
So Trump will try. He sees a path to success with this. There is a path, but it's a question of, will Congress?
Can you get 4 senators for the Republican side to not defect and go with the Democrats and say, hell no, you're not doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to read on the energy of this. And actually, no, do you want to read on the energy of this one? I usually have you leading off.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So let's take a look and see what the energy around Trump's administration's efforts to alleviate sanctions on Russia. What's up with this? Or as Monty Python would say, what's all this then?
That's right.
Oops.
Purposes only. Oh, you've got 2.
I got 2. This was going to be. Anyways, here we go with the beginning of a new day. Oh, here you go. Here, I will help you get elected. But when I do, you got to give me what I want. So here's your beautiful quid pro quo cards right with each other. What's the problem? What's the hang up with there? Is the Republican Party. It's Trump's relationship with Putin is such that it looks like he's in bed with Putin. And if the Republican Party celebrates this unholy matrimony between these two, are they complicit with it? That's going to be the problem, is you have to get it through Congress, both houses of Congress.
Yep.
And there are some hawks in there that probably really, again, this is one of the things where Trump has gotten a lot of former Army and former military people to run in the House and in the Senate. Where are their do their loyalties lie with the Constitution or with dear leader? In the past, you got the magician card here. This is the deal that they crafted together to get this thing through. Current situation is the Four of Swords. Russian economy is really slowing down, and they think they want to put these sanctions to bed. Can they get it through? It's going to be extremely difficult. This is going to be an incredibly difficult thing to do. As Russia enters its fourth year, they're going through a lot of hardship. And again, for those, remember once upon a time when the Republicans were so anti-Soviet Union that you could just this. They always accuse the Democrats of being commie pinkos, and now it's the other way around. Oh God, can they get it through there? Lesson we learned is the Two of Wands. These two put their plan into action. Are they going to be able to succeed with it? Oh, corruption. Trump's going to try his level best. Oh, I'm sorry. Underneath card is the backroom deals, the conspiracy. Absolutely, there's a deal here. There's an absolute deal. I think this Two of Wands card, the lesson to be learned, we did our end of the deal. You need to do your end of the deal. It's now Trump is now fulfilling his end of the bargain.
Yeah.
Will he succeed is the question.
That's a great question. I wonder. We should
there's no way to know. There is no way to know. Nobody could possibly know the answer to that.
Well, thank you for watching. What? Will they succeed? I was going to ask how is Congress going to react, but it's kind of the same thing.
Why don't you ask how Congress is going to react? Because maybe that will.
How is Congress going to react? Yeah. Okay. Foundation is Queen of Wands. We've got so many things to do. My God, we're saving so much money.
I know, right?
This is just one more thing for our busy platter.
Hey, Garby, you got to pull that card down, or else you're not going to have an overarching energy card space. Yes. No, one day we're going to have to get you a stand like I've got.
Yeah, I think we are. The challenge is the Knight of Cups, the false friend. It's
how much water are they going to carry for Trump?
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. It's like, the Russians are not our friends here. We could get busy on this if you want, but the optics are not good because people don't see the Russians as our friend. They see Russians as the aggressor. That's underneath it, there's your Four of Wands.
Same thing.
Yeah, underneath it, that's the energy we want to. Trump wants to help them. How does Congress feel? You're going to need both sides to support this to give that freedom to Putin. To lift those sanctions, you need both sides. Yeah. I know how I have a hunch how Trump is going to sell it. He's going to sell it as, well, we'll prevent World War III if we lift
exactly.
those sanctions. In the past, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. This is just Trump trying to cement his legacy.
Well, I think that might be the sanctions right there, right?
Yeah, that could be the sanctions too. And reading on how Congress is going to react. So let's stick to that. Congress's reaction. Yeah, we've held the sanctions. They have produced a lot. They're effective.
Yeah.
The bottom line is they are very effective, and it's effective enough where it's really crippling the Russia war effort and could bring an end to this. The current energy is the 8 of Cups, that emotional walking away. This may be, asking Congress to lift these sanctions may be a bridge too far for them.
That's what I'm thinking with that card. Yeah.
Overarching energy is the 6 of Swords. Yeah, we want to end this war, but it's the moving to a calmer place, to a better place.
When you were reading off your part, did you read the part that what Congress set up as what they would do to lift the sanctions?
No, it's how would they react to Trump's.
No. When you're reading off Google.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question again? When I was reading off Google.
When you're reading off Google, remember there was a series of things that Congress wanted to have happen before they would lift the sanctions.
Oh,
or is that my article? Basically, you had to have a ceasefire. You had to remove yourself from Ukrainian lands. That must have been my article because you're drawing a complete blank here, huh?
Yeah. Or it was a previous article, but yeah, there's conditions. Yeah, basically there are conditions Congress wants to see before they're willing to lift the sanctions. And it was an article I was reading. But because you have to give the Ukrainians self-governance. You can't threaten them or any other member of NATO. And that's you're exactly right. That is exactly what this card is. There is so much that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Before we can lift these sanctions. The lesson to be learned is the Ace of Swords. It's that sword of truth, a new truth being brought forth.
I wonder if it's related to your Ides of March.
Could be. I mean,
I did a reading with Lena. That one came up with your reading and Lena's reading. But sorry, I interrupted you. Carry on with that.
No. It's that new truth, because that was what we were kind of talking about in the reading with Dr. Lena. It's that truth. It's the truth is coming out where people are seeing exactly what Trump is all about. I mean, everyone on this channel knows what he's all about, but it's time for other people to see. The outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. I don't think they're doing it. They're just going to sit back and look at this. They're going to study this a little bit. They're going to take it seriously. But I don't see any action that Congress would take to lift the sanctions in this throw.
Okay, why don't you do a 4-carder and then ask, will they actually lift the sanctions? Well, I could do that one. The one I want to read on is how will if they do lift the sanctions, how will the American people react?
Okay, let me do a little 4-carder here. My shuffle just got really sloppy. I'm glad that wasn't on film. Okay, so will they lift the sanctions? Will Congress lift the sanctions?
Given the current energies.
Should it be Congress, or just will the sanctions be lifted?
Yeah, I think I'd probably go with the more general of the sanctions because Trump will try. Even if Congress says no, Trump will try, and then we have to go to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and what if Trump tries and Supreme Court says, "Yeah, that sounds good to me"?
Why not?
But it doesn't matter what Congress says. Will the sanctions be lifted by Trump or Congress or the Supreme Court? Get that card. So we got, will those sanctions be lifted by Trump, Congress, or the Supreme Court? People not named Gary. Okay, Foundation, Page of Pentacles, kind of a new offering being made.
Messaging of money.
Yep. It's the challenge is trying to get this thing to move forward. That forward momentum is going to be the challenge.
Hey Gary, those tanks don't pay for themselves,
No, they don't, do they? Underneath it is Trump's trying to balance the crazy, his deals with Putin, with trying to get MAGA on board that Russia is the good guy now. Will the sanctions get lifted? In the past, 7 of Wands defending your reasoning, defending your actions. Current energy, Trump being selfish, wanting it's Putin has he and Putin have some backdoor deals going. There's absolutely no question about that. I'm sure Musk is in on it because of the number of trips they make and conversations they've probably had with Putin. So current energy is, Trump's thinking about Trump. Overarching energy, will these sanctions get lifted? Overarching energy is Five of Pentacles, people being left out in the cold.
I think it's, yeah, keep going.
Yeah. Lesson to be learned is the Nine of Wands. Just people tired of the battle, tired of the fighting. So many people being displaced and hurt. Outcome is the Hermit. Trying to find that path forward, doing some introspection. There's nothing here that's telling me these sanctions. Trump wants them to be lifted. There's no question. What he would have to sell is that by somehow lifting these sanctions, people will benefit from this. And it somehow will make this war end more quickly. I don't think so. I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of those cards were basically explaining the situation that we're in because of the fighting.
Yeah.
They sanctions. The Russian people suffer for it. And then the outcome is the Hermit card, which is trying to find a way out of this. Obviously, the sanctions will be lifted in time, right? It's not like they're there in perpetuity. It's more. There's nothing urgent in there. You had the Chariot card when I was teasing. These sanctions don't lift themselves. With that Two of Coins, they will probably lift some of the sanctions. Some Russian oligarchs will get their sanctions lifted so that they can have their super yachts out in the Mediterranean, but not all the sanctions. I think that's what you're probably showing there.
They're certainly trying to find a path forward, and maybe I don't know if that's enough of a carrot. I mean, to me, that seems like rewarding them.
That's a cool quid pro quos or quid pro quos.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's see. How will the American public react to Trump, or if Trump or Congress release things? Well, how will the American public act to this? There's the king betraying the country, but he gets to do what he wants to do.
Oh my God!
Terrible cards. If he does do it, he will suffer the consequences of that. This could be your Ides of March thing, where Trump makes his decision. He's with this whatever. If Trump tries to do this, this is going to be a defining moment of his administration, and nobody else could do it but him. It's a betrayal. Basically him being a traitor to the country, and there's judgment that comes with it. If I were reading for him, I would tell him, don't you dare. If you do this, this could be your fast pass right out the door. You might just piss off enough of the right people that you'll be shown the door on this. Because it just... Hell, I explained the quid pro quo, and I'm just some slappy throwing tarot cards. If I could put it together using 4 news sources, I'm sure the intelligence agencies have recordings and emails and notes that were dropped and all sorts of things and bank records that would totally implicate the corruption on this. So... will it happen? Maybe, maybe not. But if it does, this is going to be really bad for Trump if he does this. That's where I would go with it.
Yeah. How bad is this going to be for Trump if he does this? Justice.
Dun, dun, dun. Judge Wapner is going to come out of retirement and tag team with Judge Judy, and they're going to drop the big elbow. For all you WWE fans out there.
So you got the Justice card. You got Strength.
That's great for justice. Oh, good Lord.
Queen of Pentacles, taking care of things. the Ten of Cups, the happy family, and underneath it, the world, the end of a cycle, the completion of a cycle.
Or the world court. The world court could come in too, say, "Oh,
Yeah.
crimes against humanity. Hello, nurse."
Okay, so let's be balanced.
No, let's
Okay,
not.
how is this going to go for Trump?
Come on, libtard. Let's see what you got.
So the Justice Card.
You're a DEI.
The way I see it is, of course, I'm biased, and if a MAGA red hat's watching this, I'm going to quote Dr. Lena: "If you want to support a vicious, vengeful, moronic fascist, you can, but not on this channel."
That's right.
The justice in this case is the injustice if you lift these sanctions and you don't give the Ukrainians protection. How is this going to impact Trump? This is an unjust act. And I think what you're going to see is the Justice Department. This is going to go to the courts.
Yeah. And
the courts are going to say, they have to show their strength. And so how's this going to work out for Trump? The courts need to take care of the democracy. Taking care of the Ukrainian people, but also taking care of our democracy. This is impacting the happy family. If this is an injustice, this is not a good thing for the United States
or the world.
It's going to bring things to an end. How is this going to impact Trump? I'm not necessarily getting Trumpy cards out of this. What I'm getting more is, don't worry about the impact of Trump. Worry about the impact to the United States
in the world. There was one other thing I was looking at. It was a little TikTok. Chip Roy just brought in some legislation into Congress that would prevent the UN from using any of their facilities to hold trials in the United States. Why is that an issue? Well, the International Criminal Court, the ICC, has the ability to try people for like crimes against humanity, war crimes, and things like that in their own country if the country's government and judicial system won't prosecute the criminals in mind. This started in after World War II, so that trials could be held in Germany against that guy and all his he was dead, but against his lackeys. So if Chip Roy blocks that, then the ICC can't come in and, I don't know, prosecute Trump for crimes against humanity or starting wars and doing stuff like that, which implies that there's some culpability going on around here. Dealing with that, the Justice Card and the World Card, that could be the international courts coming in to say, that then the Ten of Cups it's a world court. It's not just the U.S. courts; it's everybody's court. And the Queen of Pentacles can be Homeland Security. It could be things, practical things of value. Again, just like with my reading, if Trump were to do this, this is going to be this is not going to work out for him. It's going to work out really, really poorly.
Yeah.
Just run from that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else for you?
No, that's it for me.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching this video and supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
Yes, please, if you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. We put out a new video every night at midnight. Leave a comment. I read them all. Respond to many.
And if you didn't catch the live with Dr. Lena today, check it out. It's on the live page for Twin Tarot. It was like an hour and 10 minutes of, Lena was there. It's fun by definition. And she let us share court with her, which is even more fun.
Exactly. So we should give a secret card today.
Well, if you give a secret card, it won't be a secret anymore.
Well, I'll do it this
way. Don't the other Twin Tarot channels offer secret cards?
No, sadly they don't. You'd think they would at this point, but
clearly the marketing genius of the secret cards. I think we're going to get you like 72 shirts, 72 t-shirts, and you can just reach into the laundry pile and grab one of them, and that'll be the secret card.
Yes.
Gary, we'll do the reveal of the secret card.
Yeah, take off my sweater and
exactly.
The card is there. So today's secret card is the Two of Cups. It's all about agreements and compromise and being caring for each other.
And I noticed Lena didn't have a wooden spoon, so I guess we must have been well behaved.
No, I clearly, but I do also want to give a shout out.
Stop shouting.
We have a fairly new commenter. Let's see, it just came out. T. Berryman. Now, T. Berryman is she's just started commenting on the channel. But
how do you know T is a woman, not a man?
Because the picture looks like a woman.
Because they spilled the tea. I see.
Or it could be a man with a very attractive long hair. But T. Berryman. So I'd like to thank T. Berryman for all your comments on the channel, and she is a supporter of Cal State Long Beach. Crazy times T. Berryman had at Cal State.
T. Berryman's here for the argy bargy.
So thank you so much for your comments and your support of Cal State Long Beach, and my daughter's she is having a great time there right now.
All right, everyone. Thank you again for supporting the channel. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care.
Bye.